I'd say even if you live alone, I would wear a mask in the house, especially in the shower, because frankly, droplets can make the way through the drain and come up through somebody else's toilet, infecting them with COVID through the anus. Ballpark in 2 to 5 to 20 years, we can start thinking about considering the idea of pondering the thought of conceptualizing the possibility of maybe, perhaps reopening, but probably not. I would avoid having any fun whatsoever in the near to far future.
Okay, so masks have made a comeback. It's time for us to reach down deep into our pockets, pull out that old filthy piece of cloth, dust off the lint and the crumbs, and put it back over our faces. Because somehow, some way, that's supposed to protect us from viruses. Isn't that what the elite told us? Even though they don't wear them themselves, but they're telling us it's time once again for you filthy peons to walk around looking like the peons that you are. We need you to put these masks on because we have an election coming up. We need to institute lockdown policies so we can rig this election, so we can empower ourselves. And they're using this trash justification, talking about, oh, we have a 20% uptick over here in the virus. 2 people at this institution got sick from China virus. So we need all of y'all to put on filthy masks. We need all of y'all to have 6 feet between y'all, even though we're going to be right next to each other. They want to rewind the clock, take us back to 2020, and run this whole thing again. Remember that time they told us if 70% of us wore masks, that the virus will go away? Even though they started doing forced compliance, grocery stores, schools, work, everywhere you went, you had to put a filthy piece of cloth over your face, and you had at least 90% compliance. Nothing at all happened because the whole time they were lying. It's been proven now, even though I said from jump, I said since 2020 that these masks didn't work. I said the only type of mask that work is an N95 that's properly worn, meaning it's fitted to a person's face by a professional, which 99% of the people didn't do that. It's an actual N95 that's actually fitted to a person's face, and it's one time use only. And while you're using it, you have to follow all the protocols. You can't touch it with your finger. You can't take it out, put it in your pocket. You can't write anything on it, because if you do anything like that at all, it's no longer useful. But we have people walking around just putting the mask in their pocket, putting it in their purse, putting it on, taking it off. Some people would eat. They would lift the mask down like that, pull the mask down, eat some food, put the mask back up. I'm like, these people got us looking like idiots right now. And the second type of mask that worked was the PAPR systems, powered air purifier and respirator. That's the one where you had the entire thing over your head with the tube going down to the respirator. You're in a whole bodysuit. And obviously, you didn't see people walking around like that. Those are the 2 type of masks that actually work. So I knew from jump this mask didn't work. And now other more well-known organizations are calling it out. We see these studies saying, oh yeah, we had y'all wearing masks for 3 years, but they never worked. Even one of the CDC, I think the Rochelle Walensky, whatever her name is, the former CDC lady, she came out way after the fact and said, yeah, those masks that we forced y'all to wear, no, they didn't do anything. Y'all just wasting y'all time. But y'all did enrich the companies and manufacturers that make masks, and we may have gotten a kickback from that, but hey, no harm, no foul. That's what these people are trying to say now. Because it was COVID every single day, and then once the war in Ukraine started, they said, damn, the election's over. We got a war. You know what? Let's go ahead and just put that on the back page now. Let's act like it's no longer a big deal after years of throwing it in people's faces all day, every day. So they told us if most of us wear a mask, the virus would go away. That was a lie. Institutions came out later and said, yeah, these masks never work. But here we go again. The only thing that these masks did was divide people, because you go into a place, everywhere you went, there were a bunch of mask police shrieking and screaming like demons. You walk into Walmart, you have this thing slightly down under your nose. People start screaming, wear your mask, wear your mask. Acting like you're walking in the door with the plague or something. So it caused a lot of fights, a lot of division, because the people who were not sheep actually knew it was a bunch of BS and they didn't want to be treated like a bunch of sheep and peons. So people respectfully said, look, I'm not doing this crap. I'm not falling into these games, this nonsense that these elites are trying to play on us. You divided a whole lot of people, and these elites, they were a bunch of hypocrites. Kamala Harris, she was one of the main advocates talking about, oh, we need to wear masks, the virus is terrible. She takes a photo up, no mask. Say, look, I need to look good for this picture. I can't be walking around with a dirty ass mask on my face. I'm not one of y'all peons. Then look at the guy in California, Gavin Newsom, whose California lockdown policies were damn near as bad as China. Had the state completely locked down, killed thousands of businesses, ran hundreds more businesses away. He said, you know what? I got y'all peasants wearing masks, but I'm not one of y'all. I'm rich, I'm important, and I'm powerful. So how about this? You guys wear masks, and I'm gonna go over here to the French Laundry, $1,000 plate restaurant. I'm gonna go over here with my buddies in the middle of California lockdown, and I'm gonna go have a meal with them. And I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna give a fake apology at the end, and I'm gonna do it because I can. And I'm not gonna wear a mask. So Kamala did what she did, Gavin Newsom did what she did. So these mask freaks, these sheep that they created, they protected these people. The mask police actually made excuses for Kamala. They made excuses for Gavin Newsom. They made excuses for a person like Beetlejuice up there in Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, when she went to get her hair done, talking about, well, I had to do it. I had to look good. Y'all can look all ugly and dirty, have your hair all messed up, but I need to go to the salon because I'm an important person and I need to look good. Damn what you got to say. And the mask police sheep protected these people. We saw Fauci at that baseball game. He was sitting there with his buddies up there in the stands. No mask. Just shooting the breeze, chilling. They call him down to the middle of the field to throw a pitch. Nobody's around him. He said, damn, okay, now the camera's on me. I need to put a mask on. And again, these sheep protected this man. And Fauci was always a liar. Remember when this whole thing first started, Fauci came out, he actually gave public health knowledge at the time. People who work in public health have known this for decades. In this type of situation, masks are completely useless. And Fauci actually gave that information when this first thing dropped. He said, no, don't wear a mask. It's not going to do anything. And then the elites got to him. The left got to him. They said, look, man, we run an election. It's 22. It's an election year. We need to lock down the country. We need to change election laws. We need to change election day to election season. We need to send out millions of unverifiable mail-in ballots. So we need you to go out there and lie about masks and other COVID-related crap. So he sat there and flip-flop. He came back, you know what? I did tell you the truth at the beginning about the mask, but now the Democrats are telling me to lie. So I'm going to lie. I'm going to say we need to wear masks. We need to lock down. We need to do all of this so we can get Donald Trump out of office. And you could tell the whole thing was a farce anyway. Like in 2020, the summer of love. Mobs of people going around after the whole George Floyd thing. Mobs of people going around making super spreader crowds. They were doing all that. And the public health institution said, you know what? It would be a super spreader event, but because they're doing something that's important, because they're rebelling against the U.S. government and Trump's the president, because they're rebelling against Trump, this supersedes COVID mandates. This supersedes masks, so they can be in large crowds, burning stuff, tearing up cities. They can do all that. It's not that important because these people were hypocrites and lying the whole time. And they're bringing back the same exact policies, and you're going to say, God damn, well, they've been proven wrong. Why are they going to do the same thing? Because it worked for them flawlessly the first time. They're saying, look, we're about to double back. We're going to run this back. We're going to run the same game on these people because last time we did, we took all types of power. Teachers union, they were able to sit at home and get paid. They said, look, we don't want to go back to work with these dirty ass kids. We're going to get paid and have these kids suffering learning loss, not learning a goddamn thing, sitting at home while we're getting paid. And these corporations, like I mentioned, they made millions and millions of dollars off of selling dirty pieces of cloth. Saying, look, if you take a piece of cloth, it's the same material as your sock. So if you take this dirty piece of cloth, put it over your nose, it's as if you're taking your dirty, sweaty sock off your foot, put it over your nose. Hey, no virus. They were able to lie to people like that. The politicians, the leftists, they were able to rig the election under the guise of COVID-19, super spreader, all that crap. So it worked for them flawlessly. They got a lot out of it. So they're going to bring back the same thing. And there's so many sheeps in the country that a lot of people are just going to fall for it again. And these dumbass lockdown policies, they're already started. Morris Brown College in Atlanta. Let's read this Instagram post from Morris Brown College. Effective immediately, Morris Brown College has reinstated its COVID-19 mask mandate. Here we go. If I'm a student over there, I'm getting the hell out of there. I'm transferring immediately. They're going to wait till the school season already start, where the financial aid and the money is already flowing, where students can't, it's too late to do a last minute switch. Why didn't they announce this a month ago? Because they knew a lot of students would have got the hell out of there. But here they go announcing this. They said over the next 14 days. Doesn't that sound familiar? It sounds awfully like 2 weeks to slow the spread. But now they want to change the wording. They're running the same game. 2 weeks to slow the spread, which turned to 2.5 years to slow the spread, and it didn't slow a goddamn thing. Okay, over the next 14 days, the following protocols will be in place. Mask wearing, all students and employees, even though these employees, they're going to be at the club, they're going to be chilling. The staff who put this in place, they're going to be at all types of places, whereas super spreader events, when nobody's around to watch them, but they're going to go back to class in an institution acting like a bunch of hypocrites. Physical distancing. Oh, they finally changed it from social distance to physical, because it's actually physical distance is the proper terminology. Large gathering. There will be no parties for the next 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Don't fall for it. 2 weeks to slow the spread. Isolation and quarantine. So now they're going to be monitoring. We need to dig into your personal medical situation. We need to dig all up in your personal business and know what's going on with you. Contact tracing. Contact tracing was always one of the dumbest things that came out of this whole thing, because we're talking about a communicable disease. It's not like an STI where if a person has an STI, you can say, okay, who did you sleep with? Then they say, okay, I slept with that person. I came in contact with them. And then they can go back and see who they came in contact. They go all the way back to patient zero. But when you're talking about a communicable disease, it's impossible to do contact tracing. This thing is a complete waste of time. You can say, well, who did you come in contact with? Well, I was at the grocery store. There were 500 people. I went to church. There were 50 people over there. I went to this class. There were 40 people in this class. I was at the library, 100. So you're in contact with all types of people, and it's impossible, completely impossible to do any type of proper contact tracing. They're just wasting time, but they want to seem like we're professionals, we're in control. We know exactly what we do. We have all these policies in place. Complete waste of time, useless, just like these masks are. Symptom monitoring. Now you got to do this annoying bullshit. Before you can walk to the school, you got to let these people take your temperature. Oh, man. Regular hand washing, sanitization. Well, if people weren't doing this before COVID, something wrong with them. If they weren't doing it after COVID, something's wrong with them. People should be clean and conducting personal hygiene regardless of China virus. But hey, there you go. They're bringing it back. They're trying to run it back because it gave them all types of power. So let me know. Are you going to wear a filthy, dirty piece of cloth over your face? Leave me your thoughts below. Share the video. Thanks for watching.